Okay, you can see I have the base of the deck handle marked out on the bottom of my board. And what you also want to notice is that most deck handles, and this one as well, they're tapered out, so they go out. So this is actually going to be narrower than the top. So when we router this, we want to go on the outside of our line, which will be fine. So that'll give us the extra little bit that we need to compensate for the way that the deck handle tapers up. And that's typical for most of the deck handles that I've seen. Okay, so we can put this on the side. Now we're going to get our Roto-Zip tool out. And you want to keep the bit moving. Don't be going zigzaggy. Kind of watch where you're going, not right up there. You want to watch ahead and follow the line, as nice as possible. So here we go. I'm going to Roto-Zip thing out right now. Okay, you got your hole, it's all cut out, and now you need your screwdriver and your tape and your multi-tool. So what you want to do is you want to measure the depth of this screwdriver and then tape it off. So you take a little bit of tape, peel it off, and let's see, just about right there. That off, and that's how far we know we need to go with this. Now you can do the same thing with your knife. So you bust out your blade, and you can see I've already done this a few times, so I actually marked it with my Sharpie, but I'm going to use tape because the tape is, comes off easier. Okay. There we go. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to cut around the hole, and this is EPS foam. You're going to have the EPS epoxy board, so the foam is really easy to cut through. So we're just going to outline this hole, the depth of the deck handle, and I'm just going to go around it. And you want to have the blade, up and down. You don't want to be cutting in this way or at an angle. So this is just to make your job easier. The straighter you go down. And then we go around this way, and once you get it outlined, you keep cutting nicely. Okay, this is when your screwdriver comes in. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pop that out. So we're going to go in just about to that depth, maybe a little bit deeper. We're going to agitate it a little bit on this end, and then we come down to this end. So what you're doing is you're taking the screwdriver and you're pulling this way, so you popped it out. It's just a there we go, you heard that. And then out comes our portion that we want to get out of there. So this, it's a little bit deeper, but that's all right. What we're going to do now is we're going to toss this. So we want to get this hole the depth of this. So we're going to use our screwdriver, and we're just going to scrape around all the foam that's in the way. And you can just cut it, you can just use the tip of the screwdriver. You don't need a fancy tool or anything. And we're just gonna scrape back and forth until we get a nice hole. Okay, so once we got that, we want to get all that out of there. Okay, then we're gonna slide that in. That fits in nice and snug right there. So that's pretty good. So I think we've got, sometimes your hole, this one is a little tight. Sometimes it comes out really tight. This one's actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shave off the side a little bit, just to make it so it fits a little bit snug, a little bit looser. so we can make sure we get enough epoxy in there to seal off the hole. So just taking this little bit of extra off the side. And just clean out all the excess foam. Yeah, and that fits in there really nice. So that's going to be a nice handle. So now what we want to do is we want to mix the epoxy. So we take this out. I'm just going to leave this like this. Actually, no, we're not mixing the epoxy yet. We got to cut out the deck pad. This is when your multi-tool comes in handy. So we're still going to need the multi-tool. So to cut out the deck pad, we're going to put the handle in, and then we're just going to go around it with a knife. And you want to have a really nice sharp blade. This is a pretty decent multi-tool, so it's got a nice sharp blade. You can use an X-Acto knife. The thing you don't want is a big razor blade because they're too wide. You want a really nice sharp tip that goes straight up and down so you get a nice finished look. So I'm just going to start here. And I'm going to outline. You notice how I keep the blade nice and up and down, vertical I mean. Just cutting around. And then on this, I like to switch sides just because I'm left-handed. Come over here, finish it off. Okay, so once you've cut that out, what we want to do is just make sure we really got to cut good, so we'll just go over it again. We don't want to tear the deck pad once come out on its own. Nope, I went a little too far on that one. Okay, so there we go. We got that cut out, and now we want to get that out of there, so we put our blade away so we don't get cut. And then we want to scrape this deck pad out of the way. Let's just get this out. You don't need to keep it nice. So we're scraping the old deck pad out of the way where the lip is going to go. And the adhesive on this stuff is really strong. And we want to get all the adhesive off of there so our epoxy will stick really well. Okay, so I got most of that out of there, and then I'm just going to do a quick look to see if that fits in there nice. And a little bit tight on this side, so what I'm going to do is cut this down a little bit. Just so I got a really nice clean fit. Take a little bit off here. See, that fits in there nice. That's going to have a nice clean look. You see how that is? Okay, so we take that out, and we want to clean off all of this remaining glue and deck pad, and more importantly, we want to score the surface so we increase the bonding area for the glue, for the epoxy. And also, a lot of these boards are painted boards, so you want to scrape off that top layer of paint because the glue doesn't really stick well to paint. I mean, it'll stick to it, but then the paint will just peel right off. So we want to get to that. You don't have to worry about scraping it. You want to scrape it here. So you see how I'm scoring it, and I'm getting everything off. And this is just a regular old screwdriver. You don't need a fancy scraper or anything. And you want to get these little pieces out of here too, because they're going to mess with your finish. So I'm cleaning these off. This is still some adhesive here. There we go. So we get all that out of there. First order business is getting all that glue adhesive off. And then we want to give it a good scraping all the way around. And I kind of take sort of angle the blade a little bit just so I get a good scrape action. Scrape, you're increasing the surface area and you're scraping off that top layer of paint. And really when I do these, I want to make sure that I don't have any water seeping into my board. I just don't want to get any water in that EPS. Will just soak it right up, and then you got a big heavy log that you got to lug around. Okay, so that is scored up pretty good. Clean it. If you have a new board and you want to keep it all nice and pretty, then you can mask this off, but this thing's just going right back in the water, so you don't have to worry about all this mess. Okay. Clean it up. Get the whole, all the debris out of there. We're going to do one more look on this. Yeah, that's fitting in there nicely. It's a little snug, but it goes in there just right. That's going to be a nice fit. It's going to look really nice. Okay, now it's epoxy time. Take that out. Let's put our sharp tool away. I'm going to take this off. All right. Here is what we're gonna. Whoops. This is what we're gonna mix our epoxy on right here. And these are our epoxy tools, chopsticks. This is the way to go. So we got one extra. We got one good